Greetings, everybody. This is Mr. Castro. Today I'm going to talk to you about key signatures and how to read them and what they mean. I'm going to try and get the board to stay that dark, so hopefully we can get a good, you can actually see the board. Got a new board. My wife brought a board, so I have a better board to write on. So get out a piece of paper, something to write on, something to write with, and I'll be with you in a second. You might need to refer to some of your previous lessons, like all 12 or all 15 major scales that we went over before. If not, I have them written out already for you. So if you need to real quickly write those down or remind yourself how to do that, I can do that in the video as well. All right, so I'll be back with you in just a second. Go ahead and get whatever you need, and I'll be right there. Make sure you get those. Pause it and write them down if you need to. We will be referring to those scales very shortly. All right, so the first thing I want to talk to you about is the order of sharps and the order of flats. The order of flats is B, E, A, D, G, C, F. And if you pay attention to when you wrote out your 15 major scales, that's the order that the flats showed up in. Here, let me show you. Hopefully you can see this. So we started with C major, and then when we went to the F scale, the first flat that showed up was B, and then followed by E, A, D, G, C, and F. That's how the order of flats showed up. That's how they're going to show up in key signatures as well. Okay? So I'll be writing in both clefs, so that way nobody's feels left out. Okay, hopefully you guys get a little bit of practice of writing out a bass clef and a treble clef. The treble clef forms the little curve around the G line. It's also called a G clef. The bass clef starts at the dot on the F, and then two dots surrounding the F, so you know where the F clef is. It's also called an F clef, and that's also called a G clef for those reasons. So here's how the order of flats appears on a staff. Starts with B, right in the middle of the line. B goes up to E, and then it alternates. B, E, A, D, G, C, F. It always shows up in that order. If you only have 3 flats or only have 4 flats, then you'll know it's the first 4 flats, B, E, A, D. Okay? So however many flats you have, you can count them and then figure out what key you're in. The way you figure out what key you're in is you go to the second to last flat, and that'll tell you which key you're in. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm actually in the key of C flat. It's the second to last flat. That tells you what key you're in. I hope that makes sense. If not, please leave a comment. I'll try and clarify that some more. Okay, in the bass clef side, once again, starts on B, E, A, D, G, C, and F. Okay, the flat goes right on the space or right on the line, and the order of flats is the same. It's B, E, A, D, G, C, F, and that's the way you can figure it out. Same rules apply as well if you want to figure out what key you're in. The second to last flat, for example, the second to last flat to show up is C, so you know you're in C flat major. Okay, so I'm gonna write a couple other clefs on the board real quick, and then we'll figure out which key we're in. All right, talk to you soon. One in the treble clef really doesn't matter because the same rules apply for both. But if I'm in the treble clef and I have B, E, and A, if I go to the second to last flat, the second to last flat is E flat. That tells me we're in E flat. Now, if you remember my lesson about minor scales, it doesn't necessarily always mean it's going to be E flat. It could also, but you have to know it's E flat to know what the relative minor scale is. The relative minor is C minor. So this could be either E flat major or C minor, depending on the tonality of the piece. And to check that, you usually check the first notes, the last notes, and make sure that it just kind of makes sense. It's like, oh yeah, this is definitely a dark sounding piece. We're probably in C minor. Or if it's in a major sounding key, then we're probably going to be in E flat major. Okay. Another one for the bass clef. Common key, that could be one of two keys. The two keys it could be, well, let's see, second to last key is B flat, so I know we're in, it's a B flat major. Unless we're in minor, then I know that the relative minor of B flat is G minor. Those are my options for what key we might be in, okay? That takes care of the flats. Next up is the sharps. Okay, so the next thing up is the order of sharps. The order of sharps is exactly the opposite of the order of flats. They show up from left to right, the same as the order of flats, except they're flipped around. So the first flat was B. Oh, in the sharps, the last sharp is B. The order of flats was B, E, A, D, G, C, F, and it's the exact opposite for the order of sharps. So the first sharp is F, C, G, D, A, E, B. That's the way they show up, always. Okay, so if I'm going to do a treble clef real quick. First sharp is F. When you're writing the sharps out on your key signature, make sure that the square inside the sharp is either right on the line or right on the space. F, C, G, D, A. It goes down to A because you don't want to start adding ledger lines to create a key signature. So you stay in the staff. So you go down to the A, and then E, and last one is B. And there's your order of sharps. Okay. For the bass clef. Oops. It's going to be F, C, G, D, A, E, and B. Okay. Those are your order of sharps for both treble clef and bass clef. How do you know which key you're in? Whatever the sharp is, the very next note up is the key you're in. For example, if I did, let's do F and C. My last sharp is a C sharp, so the next note up is a D. That's how I can tell what key we're in, so this is D major. Okay, we'll do a couple more right now. Let me erase a couple and then we'll practice a few. Okay, so I'm gonna throw a couple of key signatures on the board and we can figure out which key signatures are based on the rules and the little shortcuts that I taught you. So for example, the first one is a treble clef. Do F, F, C, G. This one, let's just do an F. This one, let's do F, C, G, and D. And for the violas, what should I do for the violas? Let's just go F. I'll just leave it at there. Okay. Alrighty. So the next note up from G is A. So I know this is A major. The last sharp to show up is F, so I know the next note up is G. That's how I know this is G major. F, C, G, D, so I know that the next note up is E. This is E major. And I kind of cheated a little bit, but this is only one F, so I know that the next note up is G, so I know that we're in G major. Okay, and that's the little shortcut to find out what key you're in if you're in sharps. Alrighty? If there are any questions, please send some comments and let me know what I can do to make this a little bit more clear. I'm going to be sending out an assignment really soon on Google Forms, so pay attention to that. It's going to involve time signatures, key signatures, notes from scales. So you should be aware of everything if you've seen the last 3 or 4 videos. Review them, take a look at the videos. They don't take that long. I'm trying to keep all the videos under 10 minutes so that way it doesn't take up too much of your day. But this is how the order of sharps looks. The order of flats was in the previous section. So take care, have a great day, and I'll see you guys soon.